In the gym and in the car, with our advice you could go far. We fuck things up and we make mistakes, and talk about our sexy dates. We host events and go to clubs, but most of all we're still in love. It's getting hard for this to rhyme, just as well cause it's bed hopping time. Hello and welcome to the Bed Hoppers podcast. My name is Mr. H.
I'm Mrs. H.
I think this might well be episode 171, but I'm not entirely convinced because it has been New Year, it's been Christmas, and it's been my birthday over the last few weeks.
That's a holy trilogy of stuff, isn't it?
It is the holy trilogy, and I must apologise, or we must apologise, for being late.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm always late.
Well, that's a weird statement to make, but it is true. It is, in fact, very true that you're indeed always late.
I arrive exactly when I intend to.
All right, Gandalf time. But the reason that we're late is because this episode was due out on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, right?
Which is inconceivable timing.
Inconsiderate timing, certainly.
Yes.
One of those things. Incontinent timing? I don't know.
No.
Probably not.
Let's not enter 2024 being incontinent.
Probably not the best way to do it. So before we go any further, we want to wish you all a Happy New Year.
Yay, Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
It's 2024.
Right? 2024. And if you celebrated Christmas, we hope you had a lovely one too.
Yeah.
So we're going to recount a few things for you today.
Yes.
Firstly, we're going to give you an update on all of our events and stuff and all that sort of cool stuff. Then we're going to talk a little bit about what happened sort of pre-Christmas.
I can't remember, but yeah, cool.
I can, because it was my birthday, right?
Oh, yeah, it was.
It's my birthday, yeah.
It's not your birthday now, babe.
It's not my birthday anymore. It's not even my birthday month anymore.
Nah.
So, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what we got up to New Year's Eve and do a bit of a club review as well for good measure.
Yes.
Hopefully it'll all come together in a marvellous piece of edutainment.
A smorgasbord of oral entertainment.
Yes.
That sounds better than it's going to be.
It does sound much, much better than I've anticipated this being, I think.
Best we can do.
Yeah, the very best that we can do. Anyway, so social update, right? So we announced in our last episode, our social.
Yep.
Southampton Social
27th of January.
27th of January. That is now sold out. Completely and utterly sold out.
With a waiting list.
With a wait list, which is quite wonderful and quite crazy.
It's exciting.
It is exciting.
It means I definitely need to get an outfit now.
We definitely need to get ready and prep everything for that particular adventure, right?
Yes.
So thank you to everyone who's picked up tickets. We're really looking forward to it.
We are really excited. We love the socials.
I love the socials. We've already got a chat on the go with it. This is really cool. It's all going well so far. Very much looking forward to hosting lots of people in Southampton, showing them the delights of our local area, but also, getting this community together.
Plus January is crap.
It's nice to have something to look forward to,
it's
right?
It's so exciting because January is bleak. There's too many Mondays in it. Way too many Mondays. And it's flat because everyone's got over Christmas. So it's a really great way of having a bit of something to look forward to.
Yeah, agreed. So that's sold out. But the other good news, I suppose, for us, is that the Black and White event in March
is also sold out.
It's also sold out.
Oh,
so
goodness.
We went live with that, with the one that we're hosting with the Wanderlust Swingers, the lovely Kate and Daryl. The hotel tickets for that one have completely sold out. There's a wait list already on the go.
And that's for the complete weekend.
That's for the complete weekend. However, if you just want to come along to the club and have a sample platter of what it's like to be one of our events, which you get access to the club on the night, you get access to the chat, to the pre-Zooms, that kind of stuff. Tickets are available and on sale for that now. So if you want to check that out.
Limited number of those, though.
Very limited number of those. So head to the links that are on the show notes for this. I'll put them on there and you can go and buy tickets for just the event night only.
Just the club entry.
Just the club entry. Now, we're really excited about this whole thing. And I think what I'm really liking is that people are already getting excited. When's the chat starting?
Yeah.
When are things happening? When do we find out
Can
more?
I cope with another chat?
No, there's not going to be another chat for a little while yet.
Oh, thank God.
There's only so many chats that even I can maintain and manage and be part of. I love the chats.
Love it.
But the ones for the hotel takeovers are very busy. They require a lot of maintenance, a lot of support.
Sure we do.
They do. And
you do a great job, babe.
Thank you, wife. So
I think that's kind of, we don't need to do that until like 5-6 weeks before the event actually starts.
Good.
So we've got a little while to go before we get to that point. Want to get our social done and make sure people have a really great time and focus on that one first before we get to this.
Right.
This is a bit of the, what you could have won stuff, really, isn't it?
I was going to say, this feels kind of mean-spirited, though.
Well, it's nice for us, but it's also important as a public service announcement to say that if you did want to come along to those things, then you can't. Sorry, you were too slow. What? That's fair, right?
But it's a public service announcement to say, make sure you keep your eyes peeled for the next one.
Exactly that.
Because we're going to be good if they're sold out so fast.
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about the run-up to Christmas.
Yeah, this is just a birthday brag, right?
It is a bit of a birthday brag.
You had a birthday.
I had a birthday.
Yeah.
Woo,
All right, let's move on.
Thank you for all the birthday wishes, because I got a lot of love.
You got a lot of love,
And it was
because you're
very
a very
wonderful.
nice man.
Oh, thank you, dear. Thank you. I feel very validated.
You're a king for a day.
But just before we got to my birthday, some absolute fuckwit
Oh, gosh,
reversed
yes.
into my car.
Oh, your poorly car.
My poorly car, thus taking the whole front of my car out pretty much.
God, they did a right number on it.
So I had to wait around in the dark for ages for a tow truck, and then we got the tow truck, and now I've got a courtesy car.
Totaled your car outside a pet store.
I know, this is insane. Well, it was parked. I wasn't even driving the fucking thing. No one was in the vehicle, fortunately. Our vehicle. They did leave the details, so it's all been sorted out, or all being sorted out. But it has meant for the last couple of weeks I've been without a car. Now, interestingly, and just a little bit of insight into my life, that means the courtesy car that I've been driving has made my left foot ache. This is a sad thing. So I've been hobbling around like an absolute maniac
I
at the
reckon
moment.
it's just because you turned a year older, and what you've got to look forward to is just this.
Just not being able to walk.
It's just a slippery slope now.
I think this is probably indicative of the way things are going to run.
I told you.
For me.
I told you. You get to like late 40s and it's all downhill.
I
In
mean,
fact, going downhill would be better for you because you could just slide and not use your foot.
well, I'm covered in bruises.
You are.
Some of them are
I wonder why.
Well, some of them, and we'll get to that, are self-inflicted. Some of them are inflicted by other people,
Not me.
not you. But just to put it out there, so I am.
Bruise like a peach.
I do bruise like a peach, but I also feel like I'm in the wars. We just had a little bit of a Christmas miracle, Christmas Eve. We might have mentioned for those that either asked, that know us well.
Our son went back into hospital.
Yay, good
on
times.
your birthday,
Yeah.
which was fun.
Which is great, but he was going to have to spend the whole of Christmas
in isolation.
in isolation. The good news is we visited him Christmas Eve.
And we bust him out.
Yeah, well, we didn't bust him out. He was
just about allowed to go.
Just about allowed to go. So we were able to have our family together for Christmas, which was a really important part.
Yeah, it's the little things.
Then he
isn't it?
lived with us for a few days, which drove me insane.
It's
but
nice to have
it was
him
all
back.
really cool. In between that, we managed to have some adventures on my birthday, which was really good.
Yeah,
Went
we
out for
did.
drinks. We did some sexy stuff.
What did we do on your birthday?
We went to Bring a Mix.
We went and had a little cocktail night.
We did have a cocktail night. It was great.
Super fun.
Great.
It was super fun.
It was super fun. It was lovely where you just bring bottles of booze and these
they
people
mix it.
into cocktails for you. And you
Potent, delicious
Yeah.
cocktails.
It was really, really lovely.
It was really
Yeah.
good. What a great concept.
That was great. We did that and we had some wine and cheese and meat and stuff.
Yeah.
Afterwards, it was perfect. And some naughty times at the end of it. There we go, right? See, what a lovely way to spend my birthday. Anyway, the important thing is that I had a birthday and everyone celebrated it. The next important thing is what this episode is about.
Right. It is about lots of sexy fun.
It is about lots of sexy
It's a
fun.
very uplifting episode, thank you.
It's a very...
Because when I said to you earlier, when things go well, it's great to celebrate those successes and talk about all the good stuff that can happen and what makes this such an exciting adventure to have together. Because when it goes right, it makes me feel like I want more of this. Because when you kind of like hit the magical sweet spot of everything going really well.
Yeah.
And I think we feel like we've ironed out some of the issues that we had together in our approaches to things. And it feels like everything's just fallen a bit more into place.
I think because we decided, so let's explain as to what happened over the course of New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And in the lead up to that, we started looking around to see what people were doing and whether people were interested in going to a club, whether we were going to catch up with friends. And we had our little chat with Secret Stag and Secret Vixen. And between the lot of us, we decided that we were going to try and go to Xstasia in Birmingham.
Yeah, in West Bromwich.
West Bromwich. And
we've been there twice before.
I think that, we've been there a couple of times. I think this is pre-pandemic.
Oh, it was definitely pre-pandemic.
So quite a while ago. But also we had a bunch of other friends that are in our Discord and have come to our events that were going along. So some of the players included the Toofers, the delightful Toofers who have been on this podcasts before. We had Agent 9, we had Briz Couple, we had Stag and Vixen, we had the Thruple that organised the Oxford Social.
Yes.
The actual official name eludes me right now, but let's just call them the Thruple. I'm sure they'll
They sound like a powerful trio.
powerful trio
They
indeed.
are the Thruple.
And also Curious Couple as well.
Yes.
So it was a really, really good group. Oh, and the Reds as well coming along.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we were really excited about seeing everybody because it felt a little bit like a miniature sort of
reunion,
bed hopper gathering, friend gathering,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it. It wasn't anything official. That we'd get to see them. We wouldn't be going into the club by ourselves.
No.
And we'd all be having a wonderful time at New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
So we decided to book a hotel pretty much next to it,
Yeah, it's
like
pretty
5 minutes
close.
away or something like that. And
And
travel
there
up
are
there.
2 hotels very, very close by. One is a little bit cheaper than the other.
But the Travel Lodge.
There's a Travel Lodge and a
Premier
Premier.
Inn. And we stayed at the Travel Lodge.
We did.
Which was perfectly
Very
serviceable.
serviceable.
Read
It
into that
was
word.
serviceable.
It was serviceable.
It is what it is. You're not spending a great deal of time in there.
This is true. So we got up there for sort of late afternoon, right? Travelled up there in the car that caused all of my heel damage. Very nice. I'm going to be bitching about this a little bit.
Excellent.
And as we got there, right, the delightful Thruple had a present for me.
Oh, yeah.
Because they'd heard the last podcast, well, not the last podcast,
it's good to
the
know
podcast.
someone listened.
Yeah, someone listened to
3 of them listen.
to our the episode about my solo date.
Yeah.
And because I'd mentioned that they'd stolen a finger of my
You
Kit
were
Kat.
really touchy about that Kit Kat. You had to mention it. So
Well, Secret Vixen and I had bemoaned the fact in the car when we got in there, those fuckers taking our Kit Kat, whatever. Anyway, long story short, they'd bought me a whole fucking box of them. So we now have a box of Kit Kats kicking around our house,
in fact,
right?
I'm fairly sure one of the first things that you said to me when you sort of ended your first solo date, there's me like, oh, I wonder how it went. I wonder how they are. The first update I get was, those bastards ate my Kit Kat. I'm like, wow, that's your takeaway.
That was my takeaway. That was absolutely what I was concerned about. What I really loved is that we all sort of gathered around and decided to go to Nando's.
Oh yeah, it feels like that's a kind of rite of passage now for any swinger event.
It does feel
Where's the nearest Nando's?
Where is the nearest Nando's? For Nando's can be a safe choice,
Can't go
a
wrong.
relatively inexpensive choice,
Yeah,
and you don't have to go nuts. You can eat something that isn't super duper filling.
exactly.
But our plan was thus to have like a larger bite to eat late in the afternoon rather than stuffing ourselves immediately before heading towards the club, right?
There was a joke in there about stuffing, I'm sure. But anyway, go on.
So, well, after Christmas, I'm sure we've all had enough of stuffing-based...
Puns.
yes, something like that. Anyway, so we went to Nando's. It was great. We all hung around together.
Yeah.
Everyone was having just a bit of chicken, a drink,
You had
chilling
wine in a
out.
tin.
Wine in a tin. You know, fabulous experience that
Nothing
was.
screams class like wine in a tin
It
in
really-
West Bromwich.
But what I really liked was it was a really a nice chance to chat to everybody, to catch up with people, see how everyone was doing.
It was great stuff.
Oh, good. You're adding
do you
so much
Do you
value.
want a review of a chicken or
Well, what did you have?
chicken?
They didn't have any chicken though. They didn't have.
They had
They had no
chicken.
chicken breast.
You're so dramatic.
There was no. You had to make do with thighs. Like what the
Oh,
fuck?
I had
Nando's.
half a chicken.
You had half a chicken. Oh,
Yeah.
you upgraded just so you could have more chicken.
so I could have the chicken as
All
it
right.
was intended. Anyway, long story short, we had food and it was great. And we had some wine and it all felt really exciting because we were sort of there with our gang of people that we knew and loved and couldn't wait to party with. And then we were sort of all prepped and ready to go and get ready for the party.
And I really like the fact that everyone started getting ready and people were dropping in for drinks to say hello. And we'd matched our outfits together. We'd coordinated, which was lovely.
Yeah.
We'd gone green.
Yes.
Green
I
with
was
lightning
all-
bolts for me.
I think it's because I was feeling all low-key.
Oh, Christmas
Not
tree. Like.
low-key. Low-key.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Were you burdened with glorious purpose?
I was indeed.
Oh, very nice.
Yes.
Very, very nice. So as we were getting ready, people were dropping in, having a drink with us, sharing some champagne. It was a really wonderful atmosphere.
No fridge in my travel lodge.
No,
Can
so-
confirm.
Oh, yeah, it was a couple of... I did buy some ice, actually, or get some ice, didn't I? Put it in
Yeah.
there. But the good thing the good thing is we knew that the club was opening at, 8 o'clock?
About that. Mm-hmm.
So the thing that was really in the back of my mind that was driving me mad...
Because you're nice and organised, aren't you, normally? With
Yeah,
this?
is that you can't buy tickets in advance to this.
No, it felt really weird.
It did feel really weird. You just rock up and you have to be a member to get in.
Yeah.
Right? So you either apply for your membership on the door, and it costs you extra or whatever to do that, or you're already a member.
Yeah.
And
We just let you in.
and they well, you pay obviously, but they let you in. But in my head, I'm like, this is New Year's Eve. This is like Swinger Christmas, which is probably Halloween. But you know what I mean? It's like one of the big
like, why
big
would
things.
you not have a ticketed entrance for something like this? Yeah.
Exactly. So I was like, well, we're going to rock up. The queue's going to be around the block. I'm going to get really pissed off. We're not going to be able to get in. We're going to be in our hotel room the whole night. Because I like having some level of organisation around what's going on. I like to know how it's going to go.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, no, it's be fine. The TOOFers were assuring us that it would be fine. And we got there and actually the queue wasn't very big at all.
It was fine.
There were two separate queues. One for if you had your card with you could buy straight away on the door, your membership card that is. And if you didn't have your card or if you needed to sign up, you had to go on the left-hand side and they'd look up your details. I'd already checked in advance about being a member. We are members.
We just didn't have a card.
We just didn't have the card. It is lost somewhere to the annals of 2020. But we were able to get in. We paid our amount to get in. It was relatively reasonable.
It was all right.
And they take your phones off you as you go in.
Oh, that's always weird.
A bit
I
strange.
understand why. I do understand why. Of course, I do. And it's admirable that they stick to that policy, so no one's taking naughty pictures of people and whatnot. But you also feel a bit like, oh my God, I've gone dark now. What's happening? And I just always panic without a phone because of, like caring responsibilities, I guess, and things like that. So it just always freaks me out a little bit to be separated from my phone. But
I think it's just because you like to go into the bathroom and catching Pokemon while you're there.
wow. No.
No
that is
denial
not,
going on.
No,
No
that's
denial
not
at
the
all.
case. Why would I go to a party and then catch Pokemon in the bathroom?
You do it
Wait
outside
a
like a
minute.
normal person, like a madman. So let's talk a little bit about the club because it's been a while since we've been there and it's changed
Several
a little
years,
bit.
yeah.
It's been given a bit of a polish, a bit of an update. So we took the tour and the guy there gave us a bit of a tour
That was
around.
quite a long tour.
It was a good 10 minutes, which was quite
Yeah.
cool. So he, as if you don't know Xstasia very well, as you come in, there's like a main, you go past their Flirt's
I
bar.
was going to say there's like a bar-y bit, isn't there? That you can. It's not the club, is it? It's just like pool tables and a bar area. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. I think they do smaller events there,
Okay.
but generally it's like a pre-meet bar that's there.
But we didn't go there.
We didn't go into that. We went straight into the club. As you come through, there's reception. There's a cloakroom. It's where they take your phones and they give you a locker key and a card and all this sort of stuff. Now, as you come through, to the left, there's a fairly big sort of couples room, I guess it is. But it's also like a little, what used to be, I think, like a cinema room.
Okay. I'm trying to remember it myself, but yeah, you're probably right.
So there was all these like sofas or whatever in there where you could chill out if you wanted to. I didn't actually go in that bit once we'd done the tour.
No, me neither.
I didn't go in there. Then you've got this big open space, which is like the main dancing area, lots of seating around. It's got the bar there.
That's really big.
And it's a
Dance floor.
It's a served bar so that you don't need to bring your own bottles or whatever. It's a big dance area and lots of seating around the sides of it. Now, as you sort of come out of that initial corridor bit, there's also a sort of downstairy bit, I guess, to the left, I think. I think that feels about right, but
Just
maybe my
off
direction.
the dance floor bit
Just off
by
the
the
dance
bar.
floor.
So that takes you downstairs to the locker area and also the wet facilities.
Well, that wasn't at
Does
all
it
where I
not?
was going. I was going as you come
Oh.
immediately through the corridor.
Oh, immediately through.
I think you come down the stairs and it's, I think, to your right.
Oh, right. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if I went down there.
Yeah, this is all the different playrooms.
Oh, gosh, it's huge
So
then, isn't it?
It's a huge club, and there's like a shadow room. Which we'll come on to later, quite literally. There's a group room. There's a little dungeony sort of area and stuff down there.
Okay, yeah,
So
I remember now.
all those. But the other side of the dance floor is a bit where you can go downstairs, and there's a wet area, a lockers area. I think there's another dungeon down there.
Yes, there is, yeah.
And then upstairs, there's apparently like a sort of fake dogging area, but the guy
Car
doing the tour
bonnets.
didn't show us that. He wasn't bothering with that, and he said it's up there if you want to go see it. I think
We have seen that before.
I've seen it before,
and it's quite cool. I'm kind of sad I didn't go up and at least have another look this time because I remember it being quite fun. But also, there's not really many little places to sort of play it there other than the main event, which is the car bonnets, I think.
Yeah, I think I remember that little lofty area that was up
with the
there.
radiators. It was
Yeah,
so
which was
warm.
really warm. But this is going back many years ago now,
Yeah.
so Don't know if that's still there. I don't know if that's still a thing. So in terms of a club review, we can only tell you about the bits that we saw. I thought it looked a lot better than it did when we went there last. I thought it's had a little bit of a polish. The experience felt a little bit slicker. But also what was really interesting was that because it was New Year's Eve, it was quite busy. It wasn't absolutely rammed.
No, it wasn't.
It didn't feel like it was excessively busy.
No.
But at the same point, it was
Sufficiently busy.
sufficiently full, I think.
I'm quite glad it wasn't like rammed to the rafters because I think it would have made me feel a little bit uncomfortable because I like a little bit of space to move.
Well, there was definitely...
But it was definitely busy.
It was definitely a lot of space as well. I mean, going to the bar, it never really took more than a few minutes to get served.
Yeah, it was good.
They were on it. The drinks were very reasonably priced. Everything was sort of very smooth. So, I felt a lot better about the club this time around. But it also helps, again, if you're with a really good group. And this was like a fabulous group. We immediately bagsied like a little space to sit down and a little area that we could protect and defend with our lives, sometimes to our detriment. Because we had like a couple of little miniature sofas opposite each other.
The sofas were, this is my criticism, I suppose, if I have one, of a seating area. And I understand they're trying to maximise their space to cram in the seating. But the settees were so close together that your knees, like you had no space. If you got nice high heels on, there was nowhere to put your foot without it like catching on someone else's leg.
The flip side of that was, though, it was very easy to talk to people on the other sofa because you were leaning in pretty much. You were folded up, just
like a little pretzel.
Forwards. Yeah, but I think you could actually hear what was going on. That corner was a little bit quieter as well.
And it had a cool chair like to the left of that, didn't it? Which was like a bondagey type chair.
Yeah, which pretty much everyone had a go sitting on.
Yeah, I didn't.
Did you not?
No.
Oh, I had a go.
saw you on it.
Yeah, I sat on it a few times.
I saw you on it interacting with other people who also sat on it.
Did you?
I did.
Really? I can't confirm nor deny any such behaviours. Anyway, let's get on to some of the story.
There was a cage next to me as well.
There was also, a cage with it. Did it have a skeleton in it?
It had a snowman in it.
A snowman, was it? I knew it had something in it.
It had an inflatable snowman in it.
Oh, very nice.
But obviously that's not always there.
One assumes, otherwise that's a bit strange. I think the club is absolutely worth checking out. I don't think I'd like it so much if it was quiet because I think it would feel really, really empty. But on a busy night, though it's hard to guarantee that it's going to be busy, but if it's like an organised event or something, I imagine it would be.
Can we take a moment to talk about the outside area? Mainly because it was actually really nice out there.
Oh, yeah.
So whether you smoke or not, it doesn't matter because part of it is undercover. It's just like it looks like an outdoor area, but there's like an extra set of doors that go outside for the smokers.
There's like
there's like a vaping area.
Vaping areas as soon as you get out there.
And the smoking area.
And then you can go out further through like what I would call like butcher's style, like plastic sheeting or whatever things.
But there's lots of heaters out there.
Yeah.
You know, as most of these places do now have heaters. But there was also a little table football in there, which was quite cool. And loads of seats like all around the perimeter of that room. And it was just a nice breakaway from the main club area.
I didn't spend any time in there at all. You did though.
Yeah, because loads of people were going out there. And it was a little bit cooler.
Okay.
Obviously, it wasn't outside, but it was definitely cooler than the indoors bit, it was kind of nice to get out and just be a bit, okay, that's not quite as hot now. And then there's loads of people out there as well, just all socialising. And you can obviously hear what's going on a lot better as well because it's not so loud. So it's a nice bit to just escape to, whether you're a smoker or not, is what I'm trying to point out.
It'd be really funny, is it, if we could get like a Marauders map view of what everyone's path, of, mischief managed and all that sort of shit, but of like where everyone was at any point, and just because I think I'd just be like in the corner that we were at, to the bar, to the dance floor, in the corner, to the bar, to the dance floor, and then eventually playrooms.
Yeah,
I think that was
great.
probably
but because
about it.
The twofers are out there quite a bit, and I kept going in and out, and then as people kept disappearing in and out of the various parts, there was the dance floor, our little seated area, and then that area outside. I kind of did this like triangle of constantly going around, but it was really nice out there. It was they had loads of little places dotted around to put drinks on, and they had loads of padded seats with cushions and stuff. So it was a nice big area. It didn't feel necessarily like a smoker's area. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
And it was nice that they had a little table football out there as well.
I think I'd compare it to the penthouse playrooms kind of area is quite nice in terms of it feels quite chill.
Yeah.
Although that's a little bit more open to smokers.
That's a lot more open. This at least did have like an indoor-y covered bit.
Yeah.
So it was a little less of a
But it has that nice sort of seating arrangement where you can chill and actually have
a very sociable area.
a bit of a conversation. Well, that probably gives away a lot about what I was up to because I wasn't being that social.
It does, doesn't it? Let's see.
Well, let's see. Well, let's talk about. So it was New Year's Eve, right?
Yes.
So I think there was definitely a level of excitement in the air.
Absolutely. And everyone looked fabulous.
Everyone looked fantastic. Everyone was fizzing and literally drinking champagne or Prosecco and stuff like that.
I did like the fact that the bar offered you a number of different levels of cost for the Proseccos and the fizz. It wasn't just hey, here's Prosecco. You could choose different kind of prices, I think, for the standard of Prosecco you could buy, which I thought was quite nice.
Did you try the lower cost one, dear?
I can't remember.
No, you did not.
I don't know. You just kept giving me glasses and I was like, cool. Whatever it was really nice.
So you were quite happy drinking it?
I was very happy, but it's nice that they give you a choice.
Cool. So what I will say is that the music they were playing throughout the course of the night, for most of it, I think, I mean, as the night got later, the music got a little bit shitter, I'm going to say.
God.
And by shitter, I mean, it went to stuff that I don't like.
Was it a bit more bump and grindy?
It was a bit more bump and grindy, a bit more sort of ba-doo, ba-doo, ba-doo type dancey stuff.
What was that?
And that was
Badoo, badoo, badoo.
ba-doo, ba-doo, boo-boo-boo-boo. But it was...
For the most part, it was like party music.
It was party, cheesy wedding music.
It was great.
And I absolutely was in my element at this point. And it's, I think, because we don't tend to hear that sort of music in clubs.
That's why we don't really dance in clubs.
That's why we don't really dance.
Yeah.
But that night, there was a lot of that going on. And of course, we got dragged onto the dance floor.
Well, we danced on the dance floor together.
Together, which is a rarity for us.
It is a rarity, but also it was super good fun.
It was awesome. And then I was dancing with that. Well, in fact, we were both dancing with a whole range of other people.
Everyone was up there dancing.
Twirling people around, throwing myself on the floor on my knees, which does explain the bruises that I've had on my knees. Now,
yeah, you were doing lots of power slides.
Well, not so much power slides,
whatever
but like
you were doing, you're on your knees.
Praising on my knees bit. Yeah, so hot. Definitely done that in Dirty Dancing whatsoever. You know, I think it was just such a fun, joyous experience. And I was throwing myself around, which leads me to one of the first sort of issues, I guess, or moments of the night.
Your sartorial crises.
Yes, once we stopped dancing and I was sort of wandering around, I was like, oh, why are my flies undone?
Right. So you didn't think, what about this howling draft that's going on here?
Not at all. And as I went to do my flies up, which I did.
Yeah. It made no difference, right?
It made no difference. And curiously, I found that my trousers had ripped from the top of the flies to like where my belt was all the way round underneath my knackers, all the way up to the top of my ass crack on the other side. I was effectively wearing chaps. Somehow I had split my trousers completely and failed to notice it for a good 30 to 40 minutes.
And they were really nice trousers.
They were. I still think they may be salvageable. I don't know.
I really don't know how you're going to salvage that.
I'm going to take them into some sort of specialist.
I can't wait to hear your explanation to that poor seamstress.
Unfortunately, one of my friends borrowed these and was dancing around really vigorously and broke my trousers.
Right.
Are you able to fix them? They're, of course, going to pay me the money for this. Yes, okay, goodbye. Runs away. I think, yeah, it was amusing because I think I didn't even notice it happen. I really didn't. And because they're like silky green
tailored
trousers. They were
really nice.
Really, really nice. But clearly not up to the strenuous flinging that Mr. H approaches with his dancing. And I know what some of you are thinking. He doesn't dance. And most of the time this is indeed true because most of the music is not to my taste. However, in this case, it really was a, yay, this is the best day ever. Dancing,
you were dancing around the pole at one point.
Yes, I was dancing around the pole at one point. Aside not to be recounted or seen by any other people except for those that were there that night.
So what got me was you were dancing with me for a little bit, which was really nice, but you were flinging me around, twirling me around, and I was like, I am wearing the highest heels. These are not designed to be, it was not Strictly Come Dancing. It really, really wasn't. So I was like, I'm going to break something. I'm going to break my heel. I'm going to break my ankle. I don't know. But you were just twirling me around.
Yeah,
and I just could not.
I was having so much fun though.
And it's not because I was drunk. It's because you were just twirling me around in really high heels.
I was drunk and twirling you around probably.
So I did end up taking the silver high-heeled boots off after a while because it was safer than breaking my neck.
Yeah, I think.
But then obviously I had to encounter like the questionable floor.
Yeah, that was a bit of a mess. And then not long after that, then the sort of New Year's Eve
That was really exciting.
Being a thing.
So I don't know if anyone's ever been to like New Year's Eve in a club like this before, but it's obviously there's people in various states of play, I would imagine, when Big Ben struck 12. But there was also a whole lot of people on the dance floor, like counting down the dongs.
Yeah,
Dong?
the dongs.
No, God, no.
Counting down the dongs.
I didn't mean
There's
that.
a dong.
Oh, no.
There's a dong.
There's a dong. How many dongs? The bongs.
Aye.
So counting down the bong. And they kind of stop the music and have the broadcast of the bongs coming, and they count it down. And everyone like cheers and raises a glass of fizz, and everyone's like everyone needs an excuse to kiss at midnight anyway.
Then it was on. Everyone was making out.
Then it was like some fucking shark frenzy of like everyone was kissing everyone, which was very intoxicating because you end up just kissing, moving on, kissing, all the kissing. We must have contracted at least 84 types of flu, I reckon. At least.
I'm going to get all the germs now.
But the first person I kissed when the clock struck 12 was you.
Yay.
And if you hadn't kissed me at midnight, on the stroke of midnight, I would have been fucked right off.
I think I'd have been shanked.
I would have been so fucked off.
Why wouldn't I have kissed you?
And because you might have been busy.
But like I was with you.
Just checking.
Yeah. And you're still number one.
All right. Just making sure.
Just like calm the fuck down. Put the knife away, wife. Jesus. So it was
However, it was really exciting.
Really exciting and very intoxicating.
Lots of kissing at that point.
And at one point, like the curtains fell down on the dance floor, and it was all like dark inside.
Oh, yeah. When you say fell down, they didn't fall down like by accident.
No, they were they were lowered, rolled, or whatever.
I don't know if this is something that you do regularly. Yeah. I think it must be because a couple of people were like, "Oh yeah, they're bringing the curtains down or something," and I hadn't seen this before. And they basically have, I don't know, like 5 curtains that kind of come down in the middle of the floor, and then you can go inside and it's completely dark. It's
really hard to find people once that happens though.
Yeah, and I guess it's just this vertical standing up like glory hole type situation with curtains. I don't know, but there's still like a bit of a perimeter of the dance floor where people were dancing outside of the curtained area.
Okay.
It was quite weird to watch.
It was
and obviously you could see that in the curtains there was lots and lots of bumping and grinding in the dark.
Yeah.
But then we had to like navigate our way into it briefly to find someone. And then very quickly backed out when we realised we couldn't do that. Like, absolutely not a hope in hell of finding anyone in here.
No, it was, I mean, it was tricky to find people in there at the best of times. Fortunately, I was able to waltz around the outside of the dance floor talking about my newly aired trousers.
Yes.
Which seemed to be a magnet. People to...
Well, yeah, because it was like flapping around.
Well, my cock wasn't flapping around.
Well, no, but it was quite clear that there was easy access to the goods.
Maybe I'm just going to rip all of my trousers like this
but
now.
Let's move on to this easy access, shall we? Because I then went downstairs to find the play bag.
Oh, yes.
You tasked me with going down to the lockers to find the play bag. And you...
You insisted on getting the play bag, I think.
Oh, yeah, because I wanted to take my contact lenses out anyway. So I was like, I'll go downstairs, use the mirror down there, take my lenses out because they were really killing by this point. And this was about, I don't know, 12:30 maybe?
Who knows what time was? Because I didn't have my phone. It could have been like half 8 in the morning.
It was after the New Year frenzy.
Okay.
We'd stayed on the dance floor for a good sort of half hour, so dancing after the midnight kind of countdown happened. And then we went back to our little seated area. We had no little drink. And then you said, right, let's get a play bag and let's go and find a room. And we were sort of like, will we find a room? It's going to be impossible, but we'll try. So I went downstairs and I got accosted several times on the way by saying hi to people, which was lovely. Met a couple of new folk. It was really lovely to kind of say hi. Anyway, eventually wound my way back upstairs to the seated area where it seems that your broken trousers had managed to completely be removed in the seated area. And you were lying down across 2 couches from memory.
I'm good like that.
Across, both the couches were like face to face, and you were literally lying
bridging
across
the gap between
both of them with your cock out, getting head.
All right. Was
yeah,
I?
you were indeed.
Oh, that sounds good.
You were getting head.
Not for the
Right
first time
there.
that night, actually.
Oh, you went in the glory hole.
Yes.
You don't like glory holes.
I cannot stand glory holes.
And where do you stand on them now?
I still can't fucking stand
On the
them.
other side of them.
There's a few things. Let me divert you to this story, which we've neglected to tell you, gentle listener.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we did while we were there, some people were giving out, I think some friends of ours, and I can't remember who, was giving out wristbands, like the glow in the dark,
It was
luminous.
one of the thruple.
Was it one of the thruple, was it?
It was one of the thruple.
There we go. And I remember insisting that Secret Vix and Secret Stag, yourself and I, had the colours that represent us on Fortnite or in our group chat, which is quite funny. So
Yeah.
we all had these wristbands on.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's like the Ninja Turtles, isn't it,
Yeah,
basically? Because
yeah.
it's like you get the blue one, I get the red one.
Yeah.
Secret Vixen gets the orange one, and Secret Stag gets the
Yellow one.
Purple one.
Yes.
Yes, I had to get that right.
Yes.
So we've all
Am
got
I
these.
Donatello?
No, you're Leonardo.
Fuck. Whatever. The blue one.
You're the blue one.
I know Raphael's red.
Yes.
You're right.
There
got
you go. So you've learned that much.
God damn it. All right.
So we all had these bands on. Anyway, we're chatting to the Toofers, and Mrs. Toofer was very insistent that I try the glory hole. As
Yes.
she'd heard the podcast, they listened to the show, and I should hope so, they're on it, and occasionally, and was like, "You've got to come and try the glory hole."
You're going to say no to that, are you?
Well, she was dragging also Secret Vixen with her, so I was like, "Okay, all right, I'll do it for the sake of." Anyway, so you in Xstasia, you kind of go around some corners, and it's in a really dark place. So you can't really see what's going on,
Right.
and you can't unless people are talking behind, in which case you can hear what they're saying. Then
Yeah.
in this world, you probably wouldn't know who was, or in this normal reality, you wouldn't know who was on the other side.
Sounds like a song.
It does. However, if one of your best friends is around the other side wearing a fucking wrist strap, the colour of her chat group.
Of her Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Yes.
And really helpful.
And also you hear someone in Welsh, well, not in Welsh, but with a Welsh accent, say something along the lines of, "Nice cock, Mr. H." It does kind of give away
All right, Sherlock.
who's on the other
Your
side.
powers of deduction strong.
And then hearing them whispering, "Oh, that's Mr. H. He's got the red band." So, I stood there for a few minutes whilst being fellated.
Did you
wonderfully
enjoy
so.
it?
I enjoyed the fellation.
The fellation?
Fellation.
Is that a verb? or-
Fellatio of being fellated.
Fellation?
I was fellated.
You were fellated.
Yes, elated and fellated. However, I still didn't like the leaning up against the wall,
Like you're going
especially
for
when
wee.
some random guy leans up against the wall, who I think, and this may just be rumour, I think Mrs. Toofer recognised the penis on the other side.
Oh my God.
I can't back
That's
this
the
up.
right claim to fame, isn't it? I recognise that penis anywhere.
So I did not stay in the glory hole to any level of completion.
No.
I don't enjoy standing up, particularly now with a dodgy foot. But it's just not my thing. It's
No. You've tried it a couple of times now.
it's at first time I assumed it wasn't great, and then the second time I assumed it wasn't great either. It's not that I don't like the people behind it doing what they're doing.
Is it just the concept you
It's
don't
just
like?
the concept and the fact that random people come up and stand next to you like you're
That's the
right
whole
on.
point of it.
I know that's the whole point of it. I think if there was a means for me to lie down
Oh my God.
and there weren't other people there and it was just me, then I might be all right.
So you might as well just go to a room and lie on a bed.
Yeah, that's
Right.
pretty much.
So essentially, you don't want to stand up using your own legs
Yeah,
and
and I want to select
anonymously put your cock through a hole.
well, no, I don't. Yeah,
No.
and I don't want to select the people that are doing it as well. So, ultimately, it's not the experience.
And for that reason, I'm out.
yeah, for that reason, I'm out. So it wasn't my most favourite of things.
But the good news is you got to go and lie down across two couches later on and just take your trousers off, which were not really hanging on anyway.
Yep, they
And
came off
then
really easily. Funny enough.
You got more for later.
The funny thing is putting those trousers back on was fucking nigh impossible.
Pointless.
Well,
It was pointless.
I
That's
had
what
to
it
get into a
was.
taxi at one point because they were the only trousers I had with me.
And you weren't even wearing them.
I know, that's the thing. So, anyways, you got the play bag.
I did. Came back, found you'd already got involved.
Already got involved.
Yeah,
what
already
was
got
that? Who was doing this?
Secret Vixen.
That harlot.
I would imagine with some degree of encouragement from you. Sir.
I can neither confirm.
Were you hardly fighting her off?
Yeah.
Speechless. You're actually lost for words.
No, I can't say that I can't fight her off. Because that would imply weakness, and you must never show her weakness. And then the fight will begin again.
Oh, good grief. So you were lying there.
We're lying there.
Doing a terrible job of fanning her off.
So then what happened?
So then I gave you a look that said, right, okay, well, you've already started about me, but let's remedy this and go to a room.
Yes.
And so the four of us, so Secret Vixen, Secret Stag, and you and myself, we actually managed to find a room within a minute.
Well, literally the shadow room was open.
Yeah.
So we dove into it.
So is that the room where people can see into you using the mirror bits, or is it...
It's the one that's got like the light that projects the shadows on the screen.
So you can turn the light off.
Yeah, I think you can turn. I think you can. I think you can sort of see in with the mirrors, but it's not. You can only see like the edges of things.
Bits, not that it really bothered me because it wasn't like a full on like expose or anything. And it had a door that shut, and it had a smallish bed, but it was enough.
It was enough.
It was enough.
Yeah. I mean, it was better than a cupboard than I had at Swindon. Yeah, I mean, it's an upgrade, frankly.
Yeah. And the four of us managed to fit in there. It's fine. And then
so you tell us what happened. You can explain this scene.
Oh, goodness me, what happened?
You can do all the naughty stuff.
It took very little time to take your trousers off because they were already off, pretty much hanging off.
Well, actually, they were held together by a very stable belt, like this bejeweled belt that I'd chosen to wear, which is fucking solid.
So yeah, we went in there, and we very quickly got undressed, like the four of us, and you. Let me think what happened. You kind of were on the far end on the left, and then Secret Vixen was next to you. And then I was next to Secret Vixen. And for whatever reason, Secret Stag decided to spend the majority of his time on his knees in front of the bed. He decided not to really get on the bed. He was very busy, but he just didn't really get on the bed with us.
Okay.
But I think he was just like preferring to watch like his favourite view and stuff. Okay. And also he was doing stuff for me too, which is cool.
What was he doing with you?
Oh, I'll come on to that in a minute.
All right.
And then so Secret Vixen was pretty amorous, I have to say. She kissed me quite a lot straight away as well, which was like, okay, this is nice. This is where this is going.
I told her there were chocolates in your mouth.
God damn it! Why? Why would you have to break my heart now? And so I think you went down on Secret Vixen, and she was her and I were making out quite a lot, which is really hot. And then Secret Stag went down on me at the same time, which explains why he was on his knees now in front of the bed.
Yeah,
I remember now. Yeah. So that went on for a little while. I was the first one to climax, which never happens. Whether it was like the excitement of New Year, I don't know, but I did.
Was he using a toy as well, I think?
Not for a while, but then I ended up with a toy towards the end.
Okay.
Yeah. Secret Vixen like threw it away in disgust. She was like, I don't want this because I don't want this now. I want mouths and hands and stuff. So I was like, cool, I'll have it. And it was like, oh, cool, it's happened. So that happened, and then I think you and her were I think you then had sex. I think you went down for quite a while, but then she sat on top of you. Is that right?
That sounds about right.
It does sound about right, doesn't it?
That does sound right.
Yeah. So that went on for a little while. In fact, it was a really exciting playtime. We've been there for a good hour or so.
Were we for a good hour?
Yeah.
I don't think you have any concept of time when these things
never.
happen. It's probably like
Felt
8.5 minutes worth of time in there.
You can't talk. You have no bloody concept of time when it comes to playrooms.
What? I have a perfect track record with how long I spend in a playroom, especially with Secret Vixen. Thank you very much. Nobody listened to the Going Dutch event podcast whatsoever, please. Thank you very much.
We were definitely in there for a little while.
Okay, I was definitely in there for a little while. In and around there for a little while.
Yeah.
But it was really lovely having this sexy moment with these amazing friends, having celebrated New Year and just to really start the year off with a bang.
And as we said earlier, you started the year off having sex with another wife. Yeah,
with
another
another
person's wife.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
For the second year in a row.
I know. But yeah, that's okay because I was there too.
Yeah, you were there. You were part of it.
I was part of it.
You were encouraging.
And it was really nice actually because Yeah, they're pretty awesome people.
They are. So we had some really sexy times.
Yeah.
In between all of that, I think throughout the course of the evening, we all shared lots of kisses, lots of sort of little plays with people, lots of little gropes and feels, and it was all
lots
really
of sexy girly time with Mrs. Briscouple.
You did, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Did I mention them?
I don't know, but I'm
I hope I
mentioning
did.
them now.
Yeah. Well,
They were there.
You were making out with her, and then I went away and got a drink, or went away for like 10 minutes, and I came back and you were still making out with her, and then I did something else and came back and you were still making out with her. I was like, okay, I think you'll be here for a while. It was,
yeah.
She's always fun.
Yeah, I don't know if you did mention them, but they were most definitely there.
Okay. Well, I have a list of people, so if I didn't read them off the list, then I am truly sorry, friends.
Okay.
So it was this really electric evening. It was really fun. The atmosphere was really great. The club did a really good job of making us all feel really special there.
Yeah, definitely. It was really nice.
And I think overall it felt like a really successful night for us. And I think, more and more this is becoming the case, which is really wonderful. But what really surprised me actually is that a number of people sort of reached out the next day, because when we went for like a breakfast or whatever, or brunch thing.
Yeah, we did. It was banging.
It was really good. And we saw lots of our friends from the night before that were all going in little groups for their bite to eat. And we all ended up in the same place rather hilariously.
Do you know what? I actually woke up with no hangover.
Oh, I woke up with a bit of a hangover.
I was, honestly, I came back from the bonging on the dance floor bit at midnight to discover that my drink had gone. And I thought, rather than go and get another drink, I just wouldn't get another drink. And so I didn't. And then and I think that probably did me a lot of good, actually.
Well, yeah.
We did have a few shots around across the course of the evening anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
But after sort of 12:30, I didn't really drink any alcohol after that.
I think also we were really, really hungry when we got back, and we weren't able to.
Oh my God, me and Secret Stag had the best conversation when we were waiting for you two to finish again, because inevitably this happens. Like, we were waiting for you to finish. Instantly, he finished on my chest. Great.
Yeah, there we go.
However, we then had a great conversation about the food that we were going to inevitably find when we came out of a club at like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. We were so naive, but we were like, we're going to find chips, we're going to find chicken, we're going to find all the food, we're going to go back to the hotel, we're going to eat it.
Now, you two were absolutely fucking fizzing coming out of the club about this.
And we were so excited.
I was the first person out of the gate because I went on ahead because I'd ordered the Uber. And I looked outside and everything was just blank. There was nothing.
There was no
Which,
food.
New Year's Eve is absolutely fair. But I had to break the news to you all.
We were so sad.
But, when we got back because they came back to our room briefly.
Yeah.
And we sort of ate as many pop chips as we could find and ate from the chocolate vending machine that was in there and stuff. So, we had a snack, but we were starving the next day. Anyway, my point was that I was leading to, which is a long way round, which is while everyone was in the pub and we're chatting to people, and also people reached out, is that they felt it was really nice to see us let our hair down and actually see us be us rather than event host us. And I found that really interesting because I often feel like when we're hosting events, we are being us. We're not.
We are.
But we're also conscious of being on high alert and making sure everyone else is having a really good time. Where it was really good not to have to worry about that and just sort of chill out and just be... Did
it not make you worry that we normally come across as like massive balls of stress then?
Yeah, that's what I was kind of like, fucking hell, how stressed do I look when I'm like on this high alert, and how unrelaxed am I? And also, how much did I let myself go? Because I think that was... And I was like, she was a bit of a monster, a bit of a beast last night. Sort of we interacted with a lot of people and I had a lot of fun, and we had lots of kisses, lots of people, lots of little gropes and plays and stuff. And I was like, oh Christ, we don't get the chance to do that. Well, I think
that's the thing. When we're hosting, we don't necessarily go around making out with everyone and doing all that, because
but also there's the fever of New Year
mood and we're working. It's different. And I think if we'd been hosting on New Year's Eve, at an event, for example, of our own, then arguably I think our behaviour might have been a bit different, because you've got a job to do. You're working, you're hosting, you're making sure everyone's okay. You're not going to be, one assumes, just like flaunting yourself around.
No, and that wouldn't be the right thing to do either.
But it was really nice to not be responsible for anyone other than each other.
Yeah, I think that was a real nice change, and also that sort of magic of it being New Year's Eve.
I loved it,
and the atmosphere was really good fun, and it just had a blast. And I think we just let ourselves go. We didn't get stressed about each other. We didn't have any arguments. We just had a good time.
And I think sometimes, I mean, we've said this before, we often like take the making out over the sex sometimes.
Yeah.
If it's, you know, because it's fun, it's flirty, and it's the kind of, this is the bit that's intoxicating and adrenaline fueling, isn't it? It's it's the bit that makes you want more of all of that. And then obviously the sex is great, of course it is, but it's not, you don't have to go and have sex with someone that you make out with. It's just really nice to hang out, dance, sexy, make out, all that stuff. It's just really fun.
We just need to capture that and bring that wherever we go.
Well, you had a good go, Newsy.
yeah. It was a real...
And then you brought some of it back to the hotel with you and tried to undress Secret Dixon again, but there you go. But we were sprawling around in like a sea of chocolate bars and pop chips by then.
Well, it was like 3:30 and everyone had to travel the next day.
Yeah, the Secret Stag was like, what are you doing? We need to go to bed.
We were in bed. It was fine. Everything would have been fine. So, yeah, overall, I think, you know, as a club, I would highly recommend Xstasia. I think they did, especially for the New Year's event, they did a really good job. I'm not sure how I'd feel about it in a quieter environment. So if you're going to go, try and go when it's going to be a busy event that they're running there. So, because otherwise I think it's going to feel a little bit empty. But the staff did really well. I was really pleasantly, not surprised, but I'd forgotten the place and kind of, I really enjoyed it.
It's a fun environment for sure.
It's a fun environment. It's not as nicely sort of decked out as Penthouse or Vanilla Alternative, but I think actually it was good enough and it worked and nothing felt shabby or untidy or anything. So I'd really recommend that. In terms of the New Year thing, I think it was just wonderful to let go and celebrate that with you and some really amazing friends. So overall, I had a wonderful
trousers
New Year.
Bit in time.
Yeah. So I just need to...
So great your trousers
any
bit.
seamstresses out there that can repair some really fucked trousers,
or,
please.
you know, we could just buy you some trousers, babe.
Buy me some new the same ones.
Those trousers
They were
dead.
altered trousers. That's the thing. So they're even more expensive than I actually had anticipated. Anyways,
we'll try.
You know, let's round this one up. So the final thing that I want to add. So as we said at the start of this episode, the black and white tickets for just the event, just the club are available. They're on the show notes. All the other stuff sold out at the moment.
Yeah.
Very sorry.
But there is a waiting list.
There is a waiting list. If you're coming along to the Southampton Social, we'll see you really, really soon. We can't wait to meet you. If we haven't met you before, we can't wait to see you again if we have seen you. And that's about it, really. Anything else to add, wife?
Oh, I don't think so. I really hope that this year we continue kind of being kind to ourselves like this and giving each other permission, I think, to have fun without recrimination and arguing with each other about things, because it's worked so well now.
You shut your whore mouth.
But it has. It's worked amazingly well. Now we've just calmed the fuck down about it.
I think that's...
And just gone, you know what? If we can't manage this hurdle, we shouldn't be doing this at all.
Yeah, agreed.
And it's working really, really well. And I feel a lot more relaxed about everything.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, then.
Good.
Well, do your thing then.
Thank you for hopping into our bed.
Joke for us.
Jesus Christ. No, I haven't got a bloody joke. Why would I have a joke ready?
Why? This was your commitment.
Oh, damn it. Do you know what? I did hear some really good jokes as well recently and I can't fucking remember them now for life of me. No, I can't remember them.
This is really awkward. This is just radio
I will have
silence.
them prepped and ready for next one. I promise.
Really? You're making I'm going to put this on the podcast.
Do it. I'm going to do it. I definitely have at least 3 jokes that people have told me.
You could do... I always wanted to make pizza because it makes me lots of dough. That you heard today.
I did hear that today.
Or whatever it was.
I did hear that today and I am not going to use that because I'm better than that. But I will be prepped with new jokes.
And lube.
I don't know whether lube's coming into it, but yes.